get up early on Monday morning and stand in the rain and be miserable club with smiles on their faces. Group.
Troopers, all of you, thank you for coming out.
Coming around, guys. Very nice.
We feel the love. We feel the love.
Dayton, Ohio, Queens, New York.
New York in the
West Palm. West Palm. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the early show. I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Maggie Rodriguez. Thank you for sharing your umbrella.
Happy to help in any way I can. Coming up, a 16-year-old girl hopes to become the youngest person ever to sail around the world alone. Can you imagine?
No.
Barely with a driver's license. She's going to go all the way around the world all by herself. Her older brother did it when he was 17.
Oh. Some
critics are saying maybe this isn't such a good idea. We'll tell you why.
Also ahead this morning, we are gearing up for Super Bowl 44. Here on CBS, the matchup is all set up. So this morning, we have two gentlemen who have very clear favorites, the mayors of Indianapolis and New Orleans.
There they are.
And we'll see if we can get them to maybe, I don't know, place a friendly wager.
There's got to be a wager involved. There's got to be a wager involved.
Also, if you're planning to go to the Super Bowl this morning, very important, we have some travel scams to warn you about.
All right. Also ahead, one couple decided to get married and wanted to make sure everybody remembered their wedding date, so they made an amazing video that a lot of people are talking about. Take a look.
One couple stood apart from all the rest.
We're going to show you more in just a moment, but first...
Let's go inside. Erica Hill is standing by at the news desk. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning, Maggie and Harry again. President Obama preparing to deliver his first State of the Union address this year on Wednesday. It is a speech expected to refocus the administration's efforts on the economy. And among the expected proposals, you may hear child care tax credit, capping student loan payments according to income, and also requiring employers to offer an IRA savings option. Of course, you can watch it right here on CBS. There are apparently no survivors from this morning's crash of an Ethiopian airliner into the Mediterranean. The 737 caught fire as it took off from Beirut and plunged into the sea 2 miles offshore. 90 people were on board. Sabotage has been ruled out. We can tell you the weather was stormy at the time, but the exact cause of that crash is still under investigation. Large explosions to report this morning in Baghdad. At least 3 blasts hitting central Baghdad, targeting a popular hotel and restaurant. Smoke, as you can see in this video there, seen rising from the parking lot of the Sheraton Hotel. There is no word at this hour on casualties. And in Haiti, new aftershocks overnight, nearly 2 weeks after the disastrous earthquake there. Workers, meantime, still burying the dead. Relief agencies struggling to feed and care for the survivors. CBS News correspondent Bill Whitaker joins us from Port-au-Prince this morning. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Erica. The log-jet aid backed up at this airport is breaking. We have seen aid beginning to flow. Yesterday, a special into the streets of his native Haiti, not to pass out hot meals in one of the poorest.
The telethon, I mean, but what I want everybody to know is, like, right after the telethon, I came straight out here. Our focus right now, the people need food, they need water, they need pharmaceuticals.
By the rivers of Babylon.
He left for Haiti right after headlining the all-star telethon Friday night that raised $58 million and counting for Haitian relief. Haiti needs every dollar and more. Even with the outpouring from around the world, recovery here will not. That's why the country has focused on the survivors pulled from the rubble. The last, a young man in his early 20s, pulled out Saturday from the debris of a collapsed convenience store. He survived on Coke and beer and cookies. Now that young man is recovering, but this, I tell you, is so massive, it was years and years for Haiti to recover. Erica?
Bill Whitaker live for us in Haiti this morning. Bill, thanks. Of the students from Lynn University who are missing in that quake aftermath. We featured their story a number of times. Leonard Gengel returning from Haiti yesterday. His 19-year-old daughter, Brittany, is among the missing students. On Saturday, he visited the collapsed hotel where she was last seen. He says there was no sign of life or death in her hotel room.
It is still missing. We're not sure where she is, but we are prepared for the worst and praying for a miracle.
At the time of the quake, some 45,000 were in. 54 are known to have died. Now with a preview of tonight's CBS.
Good morning. We first told you about those members of all expense paid trips to Copenhagen on your dime. Now our investigation reveals just how much those trips cost. We'll follow the money tonight only on the CBS Eve. Now to
Dave Price is in Miami this morning with another check of the weather. Rain, getting a little sun. This is for you, my friend.
Well, you know, I like to go places where I have 20 or greater, Erica. So, Erica, let me ask.
It's a little blustery. It's a little wet.
A little windy.
Yeah.
But at least it's warm. We got something.
Feels like March.
It does feel like March. Welcome back to the Early Show, everybody. Coming up, it is not March, it is January, and there are huge sales in the stores right now. This year's a little different than previous years. We've got Katrina Zish here this morning to tell us where the best bargains are for men, for women, and yes, for little ones.
Also ahead, one of our favorites, Denzel Washington, plays a warrior with a Bible in his new movie, and he's going to tell us all about the Book of Eli.
How great does he look? Does that man not change?
I know. What is it, 38 movies? Right.
Yeah.
We heard that.
Also had a cool new video burning up the internet. I love this one. A young couple getting married. They went rather Hollywood in telling their own personal love story. Check this one out.
Erin Martin was an ordinary girl leading an ordinary life.
We're going to have more on that YouTube sensation coming up in just a little bit. And that is worth waiting for.
But first, let's go back to Miami, where Dave is standing by with the final check of the weather. Good morning, Dave.
And good morning to you guys.
Before we go, we want to introduce you to a couple who decided to get married, but instead of sending out normal printed invitations and save the dates, Jeff and Aaron Wong made a save the date video that would make Steven Spielberg jealous. Take a look.